this session today on my computer. And if you're not familiar with Zoom, if you've never used Zoom before, all of you, teachers in our staff in our district, have access to the Zoom Pro account. So that'll be something that you'll get a chance to actually use. If you have not done so, we'll send out instructions on how to actually have that happen for you. But every teacher in the district will get a Zoom Pro account, which does come with those polling features. It comes with a feature that be able to do live streaming with YouTube, which to me is something I like to do because I may not want everybody in the Zoom chat, but I want them to be able to watch a live session. So that's something that you can do as well. So welcome to Canvas, new to Canvas 101 session. It's overview and basic. And again, our focus is that overview and that basic. We really want people who've never actually used Canvas. I mean, you may have logged in and that's awesome, especially after we couldn't log in this morning, Christina, if you noticed that. It stopped working for a while. So now it looks like we can log in just fine. So anyways, that's what our session is today, is really designed and geared for individuals who are new. And so what I'd love for you to do right now is do me a favor and put it in the chat. What level do you teach? If you're teaching elementary, you can just type in elementary if you want to. If you teach secondary, put in secondary. Middle is great. That's awesome. Kind of gives us an idea of where our crowd is today. Yeah. I know that we'll probably have some friends who are joining us today who are SLP, counselors, ELL, other support staff who support students, but may not have a synergy generated course. And so today's overview is great for you, but I'm gonna have to work with Chris and a few other individuals in those departments to kind of help give them more specialized training with Canvas, because with our SLPs, we are going to be creating Canvas courses based on the groups and synergy. But I do not have an answer today yet for our ELL or other support staff. So I know I'm gonna be asked those questions. So we'll do our best to, basically, we're just trying to get everything on board for sure. Today is a snack. With that being said, please remember that you're probably not gonna walk away full and completely full of knowledge today. Hopefully you'll have enough to at least go ahead and do some clicking and get lost in Canvas and at least get an opportunity to kind of like explore and use Canvas. So thanks, Christina. So Christina put in the chat for us today. It is the link to the chat. You can throw questions in the chat. Christina and I will attempt to do the work, but you can also go ahead and respond on that Google document. And that Google document effectively looks just like this. Let me move this out of the way. Basically, it's a space where you can go ahead and respond to questions. As a matter of fact, we can just add a bunch of tabs down below. And you'll see down below further, there's questions from the previous time. So potentially somebody's asked a question and somebody has already been responsive to that question to you. So hopefully that might be the case. So, all right. What's crazy is that I have a lot of windows going on. So I laugh at myself because this is what you do as a classroom teacher, right? You have all these windows. So, all right, with that being said, let's go. So just a quick introduction to myself. My name is Chris Giles. I'm fortunate to have worked here for a few years in the school district. I am a classroom teacher. I've taught for over 17 years, taught pre-K to high school, not all at the same time, but just through my experiences being a classroom teacher. And so what I try to present and what I try to share, to be honest, is the best of my ability through a teacher lens. And because we really want our teachers to understand how to use Canvas. And so that's where I feel like I have that experience bringing that in. And I've taught online for 5 years. But you can also get a hold of me if you need to. And my job is to support our staff and our district with Canvas. I was part of the Future Ready Innovation Strategist. So still that kind of role, just a different title. And Christina, I would love for you to introduce yourself too. She's a vital person in our entire massive Canvas support system.
You're too kind, too kind. Hi, my name is Christina Schultz. I am the LIT at Westview High School. I am technology and instruction support there to help our staff understand how to use and integrate technology in the classroom. I also just help folks with Canvas because I'm the Canvas facilitator, or one of the Canvas facilitators at Westview. I have been teaching for, 11, 12 years now. Language arts, always had a web page. I'm from the time way back when people used Moodle. So I've always loved it, and I'm always happy to help. You can always reach out and I'll try to help you out.
Yeah. And for secondary folks, most of our secondary schools have a active Canvas facilitator in their building. That doesn't mean every single building does, just to let you know. So there are some buildings that we don't have those folks yet. As far as elementary, unfortunately, we do not have a Canvas facilitator at the elementary sites, but I am in talks with my boss, Pep, to find out what we can do as far as who those individuals might go to if your school or your grade level chooses to use Canvas. I'm a really good, I'm here to help you. That's really my role too. So don't be afraid to reach out to me and ask me to come help support you. And then we also have my two good friends, Nicole and Carrie, who are also part of working with elementary as well. And so those are very knowledgeable friends as far as using Canvas as well. So I'm not going to go through this deeply, but this is kind of our lens, our buckets of learning. You know, the connect, engage, check, teach, and respond. And the big thing about Canvas is we're really working towards, oh, sorry, I don't have my picture. That's all right. We're really working towards using Canvas to basically leverage Canvas to do those things. How do we get our students to engage? How do we check with our students? How do we teach our students? And then finally, comprehensive distance learning, which is a phrase you're all familiar with probably by this time. Our goal is to try to humanize that. We really want to give teachers, staff, some strategies to basically make that learning engaging so it's not so sterile. So that being said, do me a big favor and throw in the chat for me. What is your first thought that comes to your mind when you see this meme? And I've been using this for a long time because I really can't find a better one that honestly still suits this exact situation that we're currently in. So take a moment, throw in the meme or throw in the chat a response to what you think about or what comes to mind when you see this meme. Meme. Yeah, however you want to pronounce it. And we are recording too, by the way, somebody had asked. So accurate. Yeah, that's a good term. I like that term. So there's always going to be somebody who's got to throw in like a legit Lord of the Rings connection. So I love that. Awesome. Yeah, the course is not the same. Yeah. And then, yeah, learning on the go. Absolutely. Yeah. So with that being said, I definitely letting people understand that it is not a slam dunk. This is a huge learning curve and for everybody, not just teaching using Canvas or not just using technology, but using all these applications and to somehow try to make them all fit in a classroom experience. And so it will be a crash course. Yeah, that's probably a good idea too, actually. Good term for that. I think I'm receiving dings, so I'm quitting. So Christine, if you text me, it'll be on my phone only. All right. So what is Canvas? If you've never used Canvas before, just a brief overview of Canvas. Basically, think of it as a virtual classroom. If you've used Google Classroom in the past, or you've used Seesaw in the past, this is not a Canvas versus Seesaw or Canvas versus Google Classroom. This is simply Canvas. But the reason why I bring those two platforms up is because if you use Canvas or Google Classroom or Seesaw, then you are already experiencing a virtual platform. For however good that platform was for you and for students, that was still a virtual platform. And so you're able to give assignments to students and you were able to receive from students. And Canvas will still allow you to do those things. And I will say one thing that I love about Canvas is that I can just still use Google stuff. I don't have to forget about Google. Google Classroom is a platform, but the product of Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Forms, those products I can still use in Canvas. Just to let you know. And then as far as what my students do, they can still go ahead and create and design and go ahead and submit to me in Canvas. But it's a central hub for learning, and probably one of my favorite phrases is it's a place that tells a story of learning. And the reason why I want you to think that way is because in a year from now, you will be able to go look at archived courses and see how your students engaged in learning. In a few weeks from now, you'll be able to go see how students are engaging in your learning. It's archiving all of their learning in one place so you do not have to go ahead and try to frazzle and collect all of it in one place. That's what Canvas does for you. What can Canvas do for me and my students? With that being said, it manages your class flow. So we'll talk about that today, and then today's session at 3, and also on Thursday's session, we'll go into more. But basically, you know, don't share with me your Google Documents. Don't email me your Google Documents. You can submit them to Canvas. Now, that doesn't mean your students will stop emailing you, because they'll still, unfortunately, still have that habit of emailing you or sharing a Google document with you. But the potential, helping your students learn that they don't have to share or email to you anything else. Everything can be submitted to Canvas. It has their name on it automatically. There's no more lost papers. There's no more lost assignments. You can collect your work from students in an organized fashion. And then other applications such as WeVideo, YouTube, even Khan Academy, Uzella. We also use Adobe Spark. All of these applications fit really nicely in Canvas. As a matter of fact, your students can complete an Adobe Spark assignment and submit it to you in Canvas, and you can give feedback to the students in Canvas. So it's not like you have to go someplace else. They can go all ahead and access that stuff in Canvas, complete it, and submit it to you. So how do I get there? So just give me a thumbs up right now, or you can give me a thumbs up in your chat. How many have actually been able to go to the district staff page and click on Canvas and actually logged in? So let's just take a quick poll and see how everybody's doing. Yeah, I got a couple of physical hit thumbs. Awesome. I think I have a thumbs down. That's possible that maybe you just didn't do it. That's okay. That's all right. So that being said, if you did log in, that's totally fine if you did not. And like our students, the access is the same point. Students have a Beaverton bookmarks. Teachers have the same thing. So you can go ahead to the district intranet at any point in time, and you can click on Canvas. Now, that little pencil that I'm showing right here, this little pencil right here, this means that you can click on that little window and you can go ahead and drag up applications so they're not, you know, shoved at the bottom. So by default, I think Canvas shows at the bottom, and then I just go ahead and edit the pencil and bring it up to the top. All right. So again, overview real fast, and we'll talk about this, engage, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to actually go ahead and actually do some things in this short bit. With that being said, once you log into Canvas, you are confronted with what's called the dashboard. And this is really what you see, all students see, and all teachers see. So the great thing is that everyone has the same view. And so I don't know how many of you are parents. Maybe I could get a thumbs up. How many of you are parents of a Beaverton student in our district that's at least a middle school or high school? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, and how many of you are aware that you actually have a Canvas parent account that you can log in on your own account? Yeah, absolutely. There's a few people who are saying, Brandy's saying thumbs up. So with that being said, a parent sees the same thing as a child and as a teacher. In other words, this is my dashboard. These are the courses that I'm either teaching as a teacher or that I'm taking as a student, or courses that my child is enrolled in. And both Christine and I are parents as well. And so when we log in, we would see the courses that our children are enrolled in as well. And then as far as the overview, again, we have things like, let's call it all courses, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. We have the calendar and a help button and the ability to go ahead and manipulate and adjust the dashboard. So we'll show you what that looks like, and we'll have you have a chance to do that as well. And then the other thing too with the Canvas dashboard is you can actually go ahead and favorite your courses. So what I mean by that is you're teaching 3 or 4 courses, but maybe there's a course you're not using, and you can put a star next to it, and we'll show you how to do that, where you can go ahead and say, this is my course. I want it to show up on the dashboard by default. Since I have a parent account in my personal email and a teacher account with BSD, is it okay? Just real quickly clarifying on the parent account for Canvas, it is tied to your BSD parent view account. So if you have an active parent view account as a parent, the email that you use to set that up is pretty much going to be the same email that you would use to activate your Canvas account. So hopefully that answers your question, Steve. And then also with Canvas, not only can you go ahead and personalize that dashboard, but you can also go ahead and log into Canvas and actually go to your accounts and your settings and actually edit. And this year, Canvas just allowed, I shouldn't say allowed, but maybe turned on the feature to allow pronouns for all users, for students and teachers. And then you can go ahead and add other email addresses. You can add other phone numbers. If you are like, you know what, I want to be notified on my phone, then you can actually add a phone number to that, where you're actually able to go ahead and be notified by your phone by text as well. All right. I do want to talk about today, and we'll show this briefly, registering your services. If you're going to be using Canvas, you've never used Canvas, under your settings, you're going to want to go ahead and set up your Google Drive, which we can show you how to do that today as well. Once the Google Drive is set up in Canvas, that gives teachers and students the ability to submit and collect work from Google. Okay. So I just want to pause. I don't think we have any questions right now, Christina, right? So.
Right.
Yeah.
There was one question that was something we can talk about later, but other than that,
beautiful. Okay.
We're doing good.
Yeah. All right. And then the other thing that I really like to talk about, and this goes to like a few of you who've raised your hands, you're a parent. I'm a parent in the school district, and so I was kind of being driven nuts last year at the beginning by being notified constantly of every single thing my child was turning in, elementary and perhaps middle school. So as a parent, as a student, and as a teacher, you have the ability to control how much information is coming to you and how often that information is coming to you. And it's a very important step. And again, I'm going to briefly demo all of these things for you, and I'll even pause if you want to try to use them. Some of you only have one device, so I don't want to like assume that you're listening to me on one device and you can actually try something on another device. But if you happen to be like, ooh, I'm listening to Chris on a phone and I have a laptop, then we want you to actually engage in these in a few minutes and try these out. Can I rephrase? Oh, that's for this. Oh, somebody had asked, can we use Google or Word documents? So to be honest, if your students are using Microsoft Word and they're doing work on, let's say, on a personal computer, they can still submit to you in Canvas. The Google is just because we are a Google school district, which allows you as a teacher to give your students like a template. That's something that you want them to use, or they can submit to you Google documents. So that's that integration. For high school, we actually do have Microsoft turned on, but not every high school is aware of that. But back to this page real quickly. This is the overview page of basically how to do notifications. You can add more phone numbers. Students can add phone numbers and other contact information, and they can dial down. And so as a parent, you can dial down how much do you want to be informed. And so my hashtag this year is inform me, don't annoy me. And so this is a way to be able to take care of that. As a parent, you want to be able to make sure you can also do this in your course, on your account. As a teacher, you don't need to be notified about everything. So you have the ability to turn those things down. All right. And then as far as our grades 3 through 5, I wanted to just kind of check in real quickly, because with high school, things are organized differently than are in elementary. So just for a brief moment, I want to talk about that. So if you're an elementary teacher 3 through 5, and you typically get a Synergy created course for you, this year we're giving you 6 Canvas courses. You'll get a homeroom Canvas course. This is like my friend Dana Snyder's courses from last year. You'll get a homeroom course. You'll get a math, a science/health, a social studies, and a reading and a writing course. And the intention of that is not to overwhelm you. The intention of that is to say, if you only want to use your homeroom course, you can start with your homeroom course and only use that for a while. But if you feel like, hey, you know what, I'm beginning to give out more work or receive more work in the other content areas, you can publish those other content courses and you can bring them on and you can start to use those. So that's the intention of giving you 6 courses. It's not to overwhelm you. Matter of fact, it's okay to just use your homeroom course, but it's also to give you the flexibility. I have a few elementary teachers who are friends who taught in Canvas for a few years, and they were hoping they'd have the ability to basically expand their universe to be able to use other courses so they can further organize their content. And can those courses have co-teachers? Yes, that's a great question. So you can actually add another teacher. If Christina and I were partners, I could add Christina, or Christina could add me to her course as a co-teacher, or even as an observer. Like maybe Christina just wants me to just see what's happening and not physically be able to do anything in her class. And so yes, you can add other individuals to those courses.
But not students.
But not students, yeah, correctly. Yeah, your students will be enrolled in your course through Synergy and managed through Synergy. So you will never have to, well, I shouldn't say you'll never have to. It is designed so that you do not have to add or remove students to your courses. That's going to roster it automatically for you. Yeah. High school, middle school, you're managed a little bit differently. Typically, you get one course, one Canvas course for the subjects that you teach, and then you have the class periods or sections inside. And so, for example, if you teach Lit and Comp 9, but you have 3 class periods of Lit and Comp 9, you'll get one Canvas course, and those 3 will fit inside. So that when you give assignments out, everyone will receive assignments. When you give information out, everyone can receive that information at the same time. The power of Canvas is you can differentiate. So you can create an assignment and only give it to class period 1 or only period 2. So there is that ability to differentiate. I have to cough for a second. I'm sorry with that.
There was a couple questions about if you are a resource room teacher, or if you have code teachers, do you have to set up your own Canvas? And that kind of depends upon how your course is set up. So one of the things to note is you will have your own course as long as it's a course in Synergy. So if you have a class in Synergy, that will populate with a course in Canvas, and all of your students will be automatically enrolled with their parents. If you don't have a course in Synergy, then it follows that you would not have a course in Canvas. You can create your own, but then those students aren't automatically enrolled.
Right, and for our SLP, we are actually creating courses based on the groups in Synergy. Elementary is different. I'll honestly tell you, I don't have the exact answer because we're still working on it. Somebody had asked about PE at a K-8. Well, a K-8 school will have a Canvas course for those courses, and you'll most likely get PE, and then you'll get, I can't confirm 100%, but you should get a Canvas course for PE, and then those class periods will be you'll get a period one and a grade one, then a grade two, and a grade three. So you'll have different Canvas courses for the grade levels. And the reasoning behind that is because typically the content's different. However, it's potential that you might say, hey, I'm teaching the same content for grades 5, 6, 7, and 8. Can I go ahead and combine them? And the answer is yes, you can combine them, and we can help you with that. So things get tricky when we get into areas where people don't have Synergy or traditional Synergy created courses. So somebody had mentioned, can we add on an ELL teacher? Yeah, you can add on other co-teachers to facilitate. But like Christine had mentioned, the more teachers you add on to a course, that teacher gets a course each time. And so they potentially could have 10 or 15 courses. On the reverse, if you're an individual teacher and you're like, well, I want a Canvas course, if you add a Canvas course and you invite students to your course, then now you've added another course to their load. So we're really trying to basically balance this to find the best approach. And so please be patient as we try to figure out the best approach for our areas that are supporting, but don't necessarily have the Canvas support or the Synergy support courses. So high school, just real quickly, how it will be organized. We talk about you get one course per content, and then you get your class periods enrolled. With high school and middle school, you'll get a template that looks very similar to this. This is what Christina has worked on very hard. It's simple enough that you, and elegant, by the way, that you as an individual teacher can still personalize. And so we want teachers to be able to personalize it. But what we're looking for specifically is, it's hard to see, but on the left-hand side are all of these links in Canvas. Well, we are removing those links so that you don't have to, which that means is the less links, the less places that students have to wonder where they go. It's kind of like, you know, when you go into Baskin Robbins, whatever it is, 50 flavors, whatever, and you're like, I have too many choices. So removing the choices from students is a good thing because we don't want them having to guess where they're supposed to go or what they're supposed to click on. With that being said, Newsella or WeVideo are applications that as a middle school student or teacher, if you want to add those, you can, absolutely, because your students will be accessing those. And it says, I have students in Listen Synergy, but I do not have the courses yet. So for our middle school and high school, everything is related to our schedules. And right now, I was told today, September 11th, as a potential day for finalizing courses. Our elementary friends, all of you should have your courses there, because whether you have a student in the course or not, if you're a fifth grade teacher and you know that, you have a fifth grade course already created for you. But for our high school courses, we're waiting for our sections to be scheduled. Right, Christina? Yeah.
Sorry, I was answering something.
No,
So
I
we're
think our
waiting for high
schedule,
school
we're
courses to
waiting
be
for our
scheduled.
schedules to
Yes.
be complete. Yeah. So that being said, we are going to get you, we're going to try to help you set up for success, meaning we're going to have you have an opportunity to do some stuff today that you can do, not waste time, not lose time, and actually be able to go ahead and complete and design some stuff. And then some of you have probably seen or heard of, maybe you haven't, I don't know if elementary is aware of this, but the goal of these guidelines, agreements, basically, is to create a consistent approach with Canvas being used across the district. If your parents, like myself and Christina, it was challenging to navigate or to find out how teachers were using Canvas in such drastic ways. So our goal was to come up with a very consistent approach. Again, teachers can still personalize their homepage. We're not saying don't do that. But there are some things like using modules to contain the learning and to organize the learning, putting due dates on everything that students will have complete and turn into you. Those are some of the very simple guidelines that we want teachers to be aware of and to basically be able to implement in their classroom. and just in case, if you're not familiar with the guidelines, I'm going to share those out to you. You can see them on your screen right now, but basically for our elementary friends and for anybody new, level 1 is probably where you're going to be at. You know, we're just going to ask it, we're going to teach you and help you get to level 1, but we don't want you to understand that that's just a beginning. It's okay to be there. And so our goal in creating these levels was to somehow create still a very consistent approach to using Canvas. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the link right now. And these agendas, these agreements were designed with about 8 or 10 teachers. And quite honestly, Canvas facilitators, people who've been using Canvas for a long time and who have a really great fundamental understanding of how Canvas is structured. And we took a lot of feedback from parents. Last year we had 800 parents give us feedback, and we had, I think, close to 5,000 students give us feedback in 5 or 7 days. So with that being said, things like calendar was one, like, overwhelming. Please put due dates when I know I have to do something. And so these are some of the reasonings behind this agreement. And then you'll see level 2, which I'm not going to get into too much today, and level 3. But basically, if you read level 1, you're probably going to check off, oh, I can do these things, or I've used it Canvas before, and then I can move into level 2. Well, what more do I need to do to kind of help my learning be engaging for my students? And really the levels are about consistency and trying to help create a consistent but engaging space for learning. That's our goal. Okay. Oh, didn't mean to click on that. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is just pause. If you have another device and you can listen to me on another device and you have a laptop, awesome. We're actually going to get a chance to actually do a few things right now in this setting, because we're going to go for about 15 more minutes, and then we're going to have questions and answers afterwards. So if you have another device, awesome. If you do not, we're recording this, so don't stress about this at all. Again, today's session was designed to be an overview, not to stress you out, not to make you frustrated, just to kind of help you feel comfortable. So with that being said, if I'm a Beaverton School District teacher, I'm going to go to my staff page. You can bookmark it if you want to, but I find that it's always easier to go to the staff page and log into Canvas, because sometimes the bookmark is broken or it doesn't work. So once I log into Canvas, the first thing I'm going to see, besides this gigantic message, is this is my dashboard. And so with this being said, this is my dashboard. This is where I have the courses that I am that I'm either teaching or I'm a student who's taking. And again, the same philosophy is the same for students and parents and teachers. This is a dashboard for everyone. So that being said, I can move things around. I can take any course I want and move it in any direction I want. And you'll notice that it says published. Well, these are the courses that I physically have published as a teacher, but down below, if you're brand new, you've never used Canvas, some of you mentioned your 4th grade teachers or 5th grade teachers. Down below, more than likely for our 4th and 5th grade and maybe 3rd grade teachers, you'll have your courses called homeroom, science, math, but they'll be under unpublished. Don't worry about publishing. You can leave them unpublished for now. Matter of fact, don't worry about publishing them until the day before school starts. And think of it this way. Publishing just simply means the door is now open and students can come in. So right now, unpublished means you feel safe to go ahead and explore, do some work in your course, make a mistake or two. Nobody's going to be there to judge you. You're not going to have any students who are going to be keeping an eye on you. Okay. So my dashboard is all of my courses, which I have a lot. So I apologize for scrolling, but I can go ahead and move my courses around. I can click on the little jelly beans at any point in time, and I can add different color course or color overlays. And the reason why I might do that was because if I'm a parent of 2 or 3 students, then I can give one child one color and I can give it to another child a different color. So if you're a parent, this is very effective for you. And you can also give it a nickname. I'm going to go ahead and give it a nickname. I'll just say, actually, I don't want to give a nickname to this one. I'll give it a nickname to this one. So you can give nicknames to courses, and that allows you to just basically, you know, if you have a long name of a course, you can give it a nickname. The nickname that you give the course does not impact other people. So if I want to just call it BSC test, I can just say test course. You gotta spell it right though. And I can hit apply. And so that nickname will take place immediately, but realize the name of the course doesn't change for students. It only changes for me. So with those beans, the jelly beans, I can go ahead and rename things. I can add colors to it, and I can give nicknames if I want to. You can also go ahead and turn off the colors, because maybe perhaps you're somebody who doesn't like colors. And so at the very top of your dashboard, you have more jelly beans, or I guess they call them ellipses, and I have a little more ability to go ahead and do some extra things. That's my dashboard. So as soon as you log in, on the left-hand side, it's that big picture that says dashboard, and that's what I'm going to go ahead and click on. And that will bring me to my dashboard every time I log in. Below is courses. And this is a really important step, because if you've never got Canvas before, I'm going to scroll all the way down. So I'm going to click on courses and all courses at the very bottom. This is where, as a teacher, as a student, and as a parent, I can control what information I want to have. In other words, if I put a star on a course, it will physically show up on the dashboard for me. So I'm going to go ahead and put a star on, you know, maybe this course here. And when I click on the dashboard, those courses are going to be what shows up on my dashboard for my shortcut. And right now I have a lot of courses, and so I'm actually using these courses. That's why my dashboard hasn't looked any differently. But again, courses, and I can scroll down to where it says all courses, and I can go ahead and put a star next to a course. Or you could take it a star off. It's a chance that you might say, you know what, I really don't need this course. I'm going to go ahead and unstar it and hit the dashboard, and now those courses have reviewed. So I want to just take a second and just stop. If you're on a different device, if you're able to log into Canvas and you're able to get into Canvas, then take a moment. I think one of my tasks was to take a moment and actually look at your dashboard and move it around if you want to. You can give it a nickname. Again, the nickname is not going to impact students. It's really the nickname that you as a teacher give. Students can give their own nicknames to courses if they want to as well. So take a moment. Are there anybody who wants to ask any questions in the chat or clarify what I've done? Again, the dashboard is my quick way to get to the Canvas, all of my courses, and clicking on courses and all courses allows me to go ahead and put a star next to those courses. So let me just take a moment. Is there anybody who has any questions, or you want me to kind of clarify or anything like that?
Yeah, so far there's nothing in the Q&A or the chat yet.
Okay. If I'm an elementary teacher, a co-teacher, and do I want to start with my own Canvas account? If you're a co-teacher, I know somebody had emailed me this week about job sharing. So, and I can't be 100% positive, but if you're job sharing, most likely your name will be on the same Synergy course. The two of you, like Christine and I were job sharing, I would assume our names will be on the same Synergy course, so that when we get into Canvas, we'll both see the same course. If that's not the case, then any teacher can go to a course. So I'll just go to my course right here. Any teacher can click in a course and click on people, and then you can go ahead and add another co-teacher if you want to, and you can give them a role. And for next, if Christine and I were job sharing or we were working together, then I'd want to give her the teacher role. Just realize that a role like teacher means you can go ahead and edit, change, delete, destroy, build. You can do all of those things. So just be aware that when you add somebody as a teacher, you're giving them the same ability that you have. So it's just an important thing. When I try to start a past course, it says that can't be added. That's a great comment. When you do try to star a past course, watch this. See how this says courses? If I scroll way down, and I apologize, you're going to get dizzy because I have so many courses, but I'm going to scroll down anyways. I apologize. Here we go. Way down here, past enrollments. Oh my goodness, that was a huge scroll. Those are courses that I taught last year, or as a student I was enrolled in last year. So if you're a teacher who have Canvas courses, you can scroll down and you'll see past enrollment. And those are all the courses that you already took. And I can't really put a star because I can't have it show up, because so you can only star current courses that you're going to be using for this upcoming year. As a student, you can add, this is when I try to, okay, I apologize. Okay. So that being said, dashboard, adding courses to my dashboard and getting in there. And then I want to show you briefly, if you click on your account, right here where it says top, and it says account, this is where I can go ahead and go to settings and I can go ahead and edit my settings. I mentioned earlier, you can add your pronouns. So I can click on account and settings, and I can go ahead and click on edit settings. And there, if you wanted to pronouns, I conferred with Gretchen, who I think is a fantastic individual, by the way. I asked just to double check and get some clarification from her to make sure that the pronouns we have in there are the ones that would be good.
And there was just a question about that. You can't change your name because that's a synergy.
No, you cannot. Now, by chance, you'll see where it says display name. This is the name. If your display name is incorrect, if you're like Chris, my goodness, it is giving me the name Poopy Pants. That's not my nickname. I could change that for you.
Which has never happened.
It's not happened. But a student has changed their display name before we blocked it. But point is, if the display name is far incorrect, please email me and I will change it for you. Give me a few days or a couple hours to get back to you. But I've been doing that for some teachers, married or they've had life changes. And so I want to be able to honor that. So again, accounts and then edit settings. And that's where you can go ahead and add pronouns. You cannot change the name, but I can help change the display name for you. And then also I want to show you briefly, not only can I go ahead under accounts, but a few minutes ago, we talked about notifications. Like my hashtag this year is inform me, don't annoy me. And so that being said, as a classroom teacher and as a parent and as a student, I can click on my account, choose notifications, and then I can decide how often do I want to be informed of information.
So
Yes,
there is one that's a longer thing that I can put in the chat. So
yes.
On the sidebar, when you're in a course.
Let me go ahead and go to a course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our course notifications?
No. So if you're inside the course,
I'll go to this
on that toolbar on the left-hand side, it designates what's visible and not visible. So why are they all showing up as not visible? And how does that change, especially given the fact, like, so there's publishing and all the rest. I can talk about it.
No, good question. Yeah, so every course will come with a very, like basically these little eyeballs say that this is not visible to students. But if I click on, and to be honest, the keyword over and over again is settings. Like if you go to settings, so I'm going to go to either my account settings or my course settings. If I go to my course settings, down at the very bottom, at the very top, it'll say navigation. All of these students can see. And so if I drag something down below and I hit update, the students will no longer be able to see those links on the left. And watch this when I go to student view. On the right-hand side, it says student view. This gives me an opportunity to see what a student might see in my Canvas course. And right now I notice that, oh, wow, all those links that I had as a teacher are no longer visible. And I only see the ones that I've designated. So again, I'll hit leave student view. Everything pretty much as you want to do in your course that's really detailed and fine is under settings. And in this case, these are called navigation, and you can just drag and drop anything you want. Please make sure you always save. And then on the right-hand side, if you're like, okay, what does the student see? On the right-hand side of your course, in any course, student view will give that opportunity to be able to see what a student sees.
And even if you're in that top section, as long as you don't have something published, then the students still won't see it.
Yeah.
So like if you haven't published any assignments, if it's just blank, then that won't be there. But as soon as you hit publish, then it'll appear for students.
Yeah. I would like to.
And there was a quick question about students can't change their display name. And then there was an additional question about don't allow display name change in Seesaw too.
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. I'm not familiar with Seesaw as far as what settings a student physically has in Seesaw. It's a good question. We can ask Steve. But in Canvas, no one can really actually change their display name. It actually comes default from Synergy. However, there are times when somebody says, "Please change my name," and yeah, we'll change it. I mean, I'm not gonna. That's no stress to us. I'd rather make you feel supportive than anything else. So. I do want to give everybody an opportunity to do something, which is going to be this. In the chat, I'm going to throw it in the chat right now, and I'll also make sure it's also on our document under task 2. Is we're kind of running out of time, and I want to honor somebody who wants a chance to actually do some things, but I also want to honor the times for questions. So what I'm saying to you is, on this slide, it says enroll. When you click on that link that's in the chat box, it will look just like this. It will give you an opportunity, I'm going to squeeze that a little bit smaller, to enroll. And when you enroll in this course, this is what the course looks like. And it's basically a work in progress. But this course is designed for you to explore and take a look around. And this course is called, oh my goodness, I didn't even know what it's called. Oh, here it is. I'm going to drag it up. It is called BSD Canvas PD. So again, let me put that link in for you in the chat in case you didn't get it. But basically, you don't have to enroll if you don't want to. If you're like, Chris, I don't want to enroll, it's totally up to you. But basically, the course is this. It's just a course where if you want to go ahead and click on Explore, so once you log into the course, there's not going to be any discussions. I'm not going to have any notifications. I'm not going to annoy you with anything. It's just a course that's going to be a quiet course. But if you want to get into the course, right now you have the opportunity to go and click on Explore. And what that will do is you can go ahead and look at an example for grade 1. I'm sorry, an example for elementary, another example for elementary, a 5th grade science, a middle school science, chemistry, and Spanish. And then I also have some examples of some potential workflow for what it looks like in elementary. You do not have to enroll in those courses. All of these courses are 100% public, meaning if you click on it, it'll take you to the course. You do not have to enroll, and you can go ahead and click and be happy or not be happy, but you can go ahead and click. I do want to show you the magic behind this course though, is if you click right here in the top left-hand corner, BSD Canvas PD, that will take you right back to the course that I just asked you to enroll in. And again, you don't have to enroll, but if you want to have an opportunity to just explore Canvas, like Chris, I just want to see some courses this way. Yeah. When you do click on it, it may take you to the district webpage. That is correct, because I don't know if you've logged in. And so if you've not logged into Canvas recently, you do need to log into Canvas. So again, the district webpage. And once you go ahead and enroll, so I'll just pretend that I'm going to enroll in the course, and I'm going to go to my course. It looks just like this. And right now, what's turned on for you is the Learn. The other courses, Learning and Design, are not fully finished yet, but the Explore is on, and you can click and choose any course you want. And if you want to give some feedback, down below is a little Padlet that we put in for you if you want to give some feedback as well. Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to answer a quick question from the chat. So they talked about creating courses and whether or not all of those get dumped into your sandbox.
Mm-hmm.
So Sandbox is just a course that is created for you that you can play in, but you can create as many courses as you want to. They won't be labeled Sandbox, but they are just hanging out. They're essentially sandboxes, all of them. They're play courses, and you can delete those. You can recreate them. And yeah, as Chris was showing, you can start a new course. You can call it Sandbox if you want to, but all the content that you build in any course is just contained within that course.
I like to call mine fake course, and I'll call it September 20th. So the point of, if you want to create a course, and this is what Christine was saying, by default, every teacher has what's called a sandbox. And so if I were to go to my courses, and I apologize because you're going to be like, Chris, you keep going back to this gigantic list of courses. Every single staff member in the whole district has what's called a sandbox. And it will be with your name on it. So for example, mine is called Chris Giles Sandbox. It's not published. There's nothing in it. If I click on it, it could be just like yours, empty and bare. And that's totally fine. It does not have to have anything in it. Matter of fact, I'm going to reset my course. So I'm going to reset my sandbox. So your sandbox should show up on your dashboard. If it doesn't, then remember to go to courses and all courses. But basically, I can go ahead and play and do something in my sandbox. Right now, it's kind of boring looking. So right now, I'm just going to go ahead and choose publish. And I'm going to go ahead and choose the source of my homepage. And at least gives me a page if I want to go ahead and edit. So you don't have to do the sandbox. You can do what I do sometimes, which is basically go to the dashboard and create a fake course. And then I just hit create a course. The difference between the two is really the same. It's just that I like my sandbox to be developed for something specific. And the fake courses I create, because I bring stuff in from the commons, I import stuff all the time. And when I'm finished with the course, I delete it. And so that's what it is. So that being said, I want to pause. I'm going to put this link in one more time in case you did not get to the link. But if you would like to enroll in this course, again, it's going to be a quiet course. I'm not going to interrupt you. I won't annoy you with anything. But the course is designed for you to simply be able to go and log in, enroll, click explore, and just go take a few minutes and look at other courses and see what those other courses look like. And when we say we have some elementary, middle school, and high school. And if you want to add a comment in the Padlet below, you can. You do not have to. So I want to pause for a few minutes, and then if you want to ask questions, that we can ask some questions. If not, you are free to hang out or free to go. I don't want to make you feel like you have to stay here till late in the afternoon. So I'm here to support you however you want to do that. So you can
So
stay
there was
with
a
us.
quick question.
Go ahead.
Somebody tried to toggle on their pronouns
Yeah.
and it wasn't working. It just said none, or that there were no options.
Oh, let's take a look and see. So
I just did
accounts,
mine, like I toggled them back and forth, but
accounts and settings, and then edit settings. And
mhm.
let's choose and hit update settings. Let's just make sure that works. Oh, it says none.
Oh my, go to where it says your account on the left-hand side, because mine, oh, yours isn't doing it. Mine did. I just toggled it and it worked, so I don't know what's going
Oh,
on.
look at mine did right there.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think Christina says like refresh, and I was just about to click refresh on my screen, and that would have brought up the pronouns. And so now I can go ahead if I want to either turn them on or leave them off. I can choose to do so. We did say no pronouns because Gretchen had said that was a great suggestion, that she wanted to have that as an availability. Unfortunately, we cannot edit and change them to be whatever we want. I'm kind of what's the word? I only have a few options, so I should say that. So I had to put in settings, which I did not say. Okay, that's fine, good. All right, with that being said, you are more than welcome to hang out, ask a few questions, unmute, raise your hand. This was an overview. I hope that you feel like you can log into Canvas, go to your dashboard, move things around, change the name of a course, add colors, and then at least go to that course and spend a few minutes exploring the elementary ones or the high school ones. They're pretty intense, and so some of them are just explore, just look. Again, nobody's expecting you to be an expert at 105 today. It's really about you coming and learning and having an opportunity to hopefully ask questions and stuff.
And there was somebody that had a question about authorizing Google Drive. I don't know if you want to show that
Oh,
again.
yes, thank you for, I had forgot to tell that. So again, on the left-hand side, dashboard, courses, these will show up regardless of what course you're in. But on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on account, and I'm always going to go to settings. And then down below, it says web service. I'm going to go ahead and disable that. On your computer, it might show up under services. I've already enabled mine and disabled it. But when you go to accounts and settings, you're going to click on Google Drive and authorize, and it's going to ask you to log in. Now, the problem that you might have is if you're on a personal computer and you have more than one Google account. So again, account and settings, and you'll see right here where it says web service. I'll just disable mine again. You can click on where it says other services, click on it, and it'll ask you to authorize your Google Drive. Your students may have to do the same thing, just as an FYI. And so, and I always say that because I don't know if every student has done that across the district. So anyways, like I said, if you want to hang out for the next few minutes, Christina and I are hanging out. We're happy to ask your questions. We're happy to respond in the chat, or just raise your hand or unmute yourself by all means. We are recording. I'm going to hit stop recording right now, but these are recorded, and we'll make sure that we are putting them up in a space where you